Now then, where is that book on dance?
Hello, Flayn. I'm curious if you could confirm some suspicions I have.
Hello, Linhardt. What is it?
I've recently been lost in study on the topic of Saint Sethlene. You're familiar with her life, yes?
I know a little of her, as do many. But what does this have to do with me?
Interesting that you would ask that. Your question betrays your understanding of my inquiry.
I am quite certain that it does not, as a matter of fact.
I have interviewed several members of the Academy and the Monastery. All agree that you have trouble focusing on detail-oriented work. As I mentioned, I have been carefully researching Saint Sethlene's history, and I found several intriguing anecdotes concerning her life. Granted, it is not stated explicitly in the texts, but it is easy enough to read between the lines and get to the underlying truth. The authors of several tomes, all written within 50 years of Saint Sethlene's passing, imply she found it difficult to maintain focus on detail-oriented tasks. Then, just this morning, as I was studying statues of Saint Sethlene, I came to realize how similar her visage is to your own. Interesting, no?
I do not appreciate your disrespectful approach to this topic.
No disrespect intended, I assure you. Saint Sethlene is a major saint. I only mean to say that looking like her is an honor.
I actually meant that you are being disrespectful to Saint Sethlene.
There was one other item.
If you must.
You are quite skilled in white magic, yes? My understanding is that you have a very high affinity for the art.
Yes, I do. I am confident in my abilities. I am glad of my abilities, for it is a way in which I am able to help others.
Indeed. Once more an echo of Saint Sethlene. I'm so curious as to why such similarities exist. Her crest? Perhaps hereditary traits then? Or is it possible I am allowing myself to see patterns where there are none?
I am very busy searching for a book. I will be going now.
Flayn, I have another question for you, if you please.
Another one, Linhardt? When will you leave me in peace?
A breakthrough has been made concerning your crest. A major crest of Saint Sethlene, correct?
Well, yes. I've been trying to keep that quiet.
Part of my interest on this topic is that I possess a minor crest of Sethlene myself.
I am aware.
Possessing a minor crest is uncommon, but not rare among the noble families. However, a major crest of Sethlene, that is beyond rare.
Oh, is it?
I am quite curious as to why you were born with such a rare major crest. Given that mine is a minor crest of the same type, it's possible that you and I are distant relations.
You and I related? I am quite certain that is not the case.
Oh, do you have access to a detailed ancestry? That could be a most useful tome.
No, I do not. However...
A shame. Oh, to explore one's lineage and investigate such possibilities. Alas, the odds of your being a direct descendant of Saint Sethlene are quite low. The prevailing theory among respectable scholars is that Saint Sethlene died having never married.
It's true she's unmarried. Was unmarried, that is. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not a descendant of Saint Sethlene. Of this, I can assure you.
While I do not subscribe to your absolute certainty, I do agree your relation to her is highly unlikely. Yet there is some connection between yourself and Saint Sethlene.
What was that you were mumbling to yourself?
Nothing. My apologies. Simply thinking aloud. I do hope we can continue this discussion sometime.
He always acts so oddly. It makes me ill at ease.
Reading anything interesting?
Oh, good day, Linhardt. At the moment, I'm simply browsing history books. Reading these, it's easy to imagine what it would feel like to exist long ago.
Fodlan's history spans thousands of years. We're lucky to have so many detailed records of our past. I have knowledge of how people lived, who they loved, what wars they fought, and why. But I'd never describe it as feeling like I was living in the past.
And why not? It's only a figure of speech.
About our shared crests.
Goodness, this again?
There's an experiment I wish to attempt, although it might prove to be a bit troublesome.
A troublesome experiment? You know I do not like pain.
Pain? No, there won't... Well, I'm unsure of the results, but that's why they call it an experiment. It would, of course, require that you and I get married.
I beg your pardon?
Yes. If bearers of major and minor Cethline crests reproduce, what crest would the offspring possess, if any? I must know, and thought the question might pique your interest as well.
Are you actually speaking about a hypothetical future with me? Involving... children?
Yes. Such parentage has never been documented. A whole new field of research awaits. It would be a worthy experiment, and we'd need only 5 or so children for a good sample size.
Do you mind going back to what you mentioned earlier?
Pardon? Which part?
The part about marrying and having children! I've always believed, rather firmly, that marriage is something between 2 people who love one another.
I like you well enough to advance a field of study to previously unknown heights. How do you feel?
This is the first I've heard of such a thing from you.
Do you imagine I've spent all this time talking to you because I was bored? Anyway, I'm pretty worn out now, so let's continue this conversation another time, yes?
Does conversing with me tire you out so much?
Talking to anybody tires me out. Thinking, putting thoughts into words, opening my mouth, all tiring. Do give some thought to my proposal. Think of how far we could advance crest research, you and I.
Experimental marriage and children? He likes me? I don't understand. I don't understand at all.